Good evening and welcome to the joint meeting of the City Council of the City of Moreno Valley Community Services District, City as Successor Agency for the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Moreno Valley Housing Authority, Moreno Valley Public Financing Authority, and the Board of Library Trustees. The City Council does receive a separate stipend for CSD meetings. I now call this meeting to order on December 15, 2020 at 6 p.m. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Councilmember Thornton.
Present.
Councilmember Marquez.
Here.
Councilmember Cabrera.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca.
Here.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Here. Thank you. We'll go with staff introductions, please.
Pat Jaquez-Nares, City Clerk.
With Mike Lee, City Manager.
Marshall Ironman, Assistant City Manager, Chief Financial Officer.
Michael Wolf, Assistant City Manager, Director of Public Works, City Engineer.
Malia Mancha, Community Development Director.
Patty Solano, Parks and Community Services Director.
John Salisbury, Chief of Police.
Abdul Ahmed, Fire Chief.
Okay, great, awesome. So we're going to go ahead and get started tonight with public comments, and they're going to be public comments on matters on the agenda and matters on not on the agenda together. Always, like before, I just mentioned everyone to please keep your comments respectful towards each other. That would be amazing. And comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. And we'll go ahead and start off with the first 3 speakers, and then after that, we'll get going with our meeting.
Okay, the first 3 speakers are Luis Palomares, Angel Lopez, and Chris DeWoody. Luis?
Hello, Luis Palomares, community activist. Am I on?
We can hear
Yes.
you.
Okay, well, I'm just calling because I want to say what a fantastic job the council, Mrs. Baca, the mayor, Carla, Thornton, and Cabrera have done. Excellent job through the year. I got to commend them. We had so many good things happening this year. A lot of stuff. And I'm just really proud of being live here in the community here. Our police force is on the ball. Our firemen are on the ball. I just want to say Merry Christmas to them all and a good year. And also to the council, Merry Christmas, good year. Hopefully, we, get all this other stuff ahead of us that we're trying to do with the World Logistics Center. And, we got that, everything that's going on at over here with the new amphitheater. That is something that's great. And then I believe we made a plan for on the east side for a town center there. We've made so much progress in these last couple of years, and prior to that, even the last couple of years prior to that, because we got a good council taking care of business and doing everything they got to do. They put their feet to the ground and they take off running. And I just gotta, just say I'm really happy to be here in Moreno Valley in this city. I've been here 32 years, and most of my children live here, and grandchildren, and so we're really glad to be a big part of all that's been going on and helping in whatever which way we can in the community. And also within the school district, we've done a lot there too, helped a lot in that. And I congratulate the people in the school district that got their seats. And, we're just going to go forward. And hopefully this pandemic is going to be over soon so we can really get out there and do more that we got to do. But it's hard with this pandemic. We can't go to the council. That's a hard thing. And, people like to see who's talking up there. So I'm just glad, like I said, to be a part of this city, and Happy New Year's and Merry Christmas to everybody. Stay safe. And hopefully we get through this. Next 4 years with a new administration, hopefully we go forward instead of at a standstill. There's nothing but gridlock in Congress and at the Senate. So hopefully we just take off running there also, because it makes a big difference. And thank you again, and God bless you all. And the staff also, they've done an excellent job. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Luis. Okay, next speaker.
Next speakers, Angel Lopez, Chris Dawudi, and Brian Gunter. Angel?
Yes, hello, Mayor. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. And before I begin my comments, I just want to say Merry Christmas to all my Moreno Valley neighbors, veterans, constituents, residents, for everybody to enjoy and have a safe and happy and a Merry Christmas, and to enjoy a safe and a Happy New Year. So for the mayor pro tem, council members, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm speaking on non-agenda items, and the item I wanted to bring up to discuss was the mailers that went out recently over the last few weeks to constituents around Moreno Valley. It is a mailer regarding support for the Moreno Valley Trade Center. And I must comment that when I received this mailer, although, hey, the print material looks good, the photos look good, but a lot of the talking points remind me of tactics used by others for other functions, other projects, such as the World Logistics Center. Nonetheless, on the mailer, the only options it gives constituents to respond are whether they support the Moreno Valley Trade Center, they can write a letter of support, or they can attend a future hearing for the project, but there's no option listed for anybody to vote no for the matter, or express their desire not to support this project because Moreno Valley is filled with warehouses. Do we need any more? Perhaps we do not. There's already many empty warehouses as it is in Moreno Valley that have yet to be occupied, and projects on the back burner that have yet to be built due to litigation. But nonetheless, this is a flawed mailer. I do not support it, and I am reading comments from many in the community who do not support it. Also, I found interesting that some of the parcel owners of land in the area that stand to benefit from this project include Hall Nursery, who, based on campaign contribution forms for 2020 from the city's website, Mayor Gutierrez benefited by receiving $4,500 from Hall Nursery, and Rafael Brugueras also benefited by receiving $3,000, which he did not win. And then also other parcel landowners, including BCMB Land and MB Eucalyptus, they donated a total of $11,000 to Mayor Gutierrez, Councilmember Baca, and Rafael Brugueras. So I just wanted to express these public record findings for anybody that wants to look that up with the county, to show you that pay to play is still active in Moreno Valley. Hopefully somewhere in the future, we can have ethical candidates that will not require pay to play for things to get done. But we shall see in the future. Nonetheless, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you, Mayor. I yield back to you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Chris Dawudi, Brian Gunter, and Ron Mitchell. Mr. Woody? Dawudi? If you're on your phone, you need to do *6.
Hello, this is Chris Dawudi.
Okay. Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening. The purpose of my call is to bring to your attention a recent award that city awarded for large IT project to Nth Generation. We were one of the bidders on there. We lost a bid. We came in at $491,358, and this award was awarded to Nth Generation to the tune of $833,766, a difference of $342,407.40 higher than our bid. When we asked why, we found out that the city did not follow its own protocol, its own criteria for awarding this project. We were not asked to respond to any concerns that the city had. When we asked them why we lost a bid, they said, well, we're not familiar with the solution. Now, mind you, this solution is a #1 virtualization solution in the world. It's bigger than VMware. It's utilized by Amazon, Apple, and Google. Yet, the city was not familiar with the product, so they decided not to go with us. Reason number two is that they didn't think we could deploy this thing within the time that we set on our bid. Now, if there's a skepticism whether we can deploy something or not, the prudent thing to do is to pick up the phone, call, say, hey, CPAC crew, you guys said you guys can do it in 10 days, but we don't see how you guys can do that. And we would have easily invalidated that concern. We've done this before. We know what we're doing. We have the world's #1 virtualization solution, and we are $342,000 less. But without a single question, without single validation, nothing, no questions from CPAC. This sweetheart deal was handed to Ant Generation. There's something unprudent about this award. It needs to be set aside. It needs to be reevaluated, and needs to be done prudently. This is not fair to the bidders. And the third thing, this bid was open to the public, and once it was 3 bidders, including ourselves, were selected for this bid, an additional $100,000, actually $200,000 worth of product was added to it. That was not afforded to the public, so not sure how that got on the bid, but there are a slew of things that I emailed the mayor and the council members on that I outlined in my email. So we think this award should be set aside. It is not following city's own criteria, and we want to hear from the city and find out what we can do to fix this.
Thank you.
Okay, the next speaker is Brian Gunter. Mr. Gunter? Mr. Gunter, if you're on your phone, you need to do *6.
Is he on, Pat?
Can you hear me now?
Oh,
We can hear
there
you.
it is. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm an associate of Chris's too, so I won't repeat all his sentiments there, but just want to read a couple things that part of the RFP was to ask questions when there's skepticism or anything else, Q&A, and that was not done. So on something that's a 40% less, being the lowest bidder, $340,000 less than anybody else, we had no questions asked, and that's where it all went wrong. We could have explained everything that they had questions on or skepticism, and that was not done. The protocol was not followed in their RFP, and we were the lowest bidder by $340,000. So I don't need to repeat anymore, but thank you. Complete.
Thank you, Brian.
The next speaker is Ron Mitchell. I can't get him. Is he on here? Mayor, I don't see him on the list. So we're gonna go with Brandon Karn.
Okay.
Mr. Karn, can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Great.
I'm here to comment on something that was non-agenda item. Well, about a week and a half ago on December 4th, I've been coming to the council since at least September about a corruption indictment that occurred in Tulare County. It regards a company called Healthcare Conglomerate Associates. It's also called HCCA. The reason is this is a company that was co-founded by Ido Benzivi of Highland Fairview in Moreno Valley, which is easily the largest donor to our city council and to our mayor. Highland Fairview, just this last general election in November, gave about $70,000 in super PACs to the mayor, Ms. Baca, and Rafael Brugueras. Well, a headline emerged that's an update to this case, and I said I would keep coming back in regards to this prosecution. And it's from the Visalia Times Delta newspaper. In the Central Valley, it reads, ousted Tulare hospital manager brought back to Tulare County in chains to face charges. This hospital manager was actually the CEO of Healthcare Conglomerate Associates. This is Ido Benzivi's younger brother, Benny Benzivi. The two were both operators of this company, though Ido wasn't charged. He was charged with crimes such as money laundering, embezzlement, conflict of interest. An attorney named Bruce Green, which Highland Fairview has used in Moreno Valley for almost 20 years, named Bruce Green. He's from Baker and Hostetler, which is a law firm in LA. Also was charged in this situation with the same crimes as Benny Benzivi, embezzlement, conflict of interest, money laundering. Well, Benny Benzivi disappeared while this was being investigated in 2018. I've been following this case since 2017 when it became a public criminal investigation, and it led to the indictment this last August. He left the United States in 2018 because HCCA lost control of the hospitals it was managing, ended up laying off 500 people in the process, and the hospital closed for a year. He was thought to have gone to Israel, fleeing the authorities. Well, just last week, we found out he actually was in the Philippines, in Manila. And the Tulare County DA's office, with the assistance of the FBI, tracked Benny Benzivi down in Manila and negotiated his self-deportation to LAX. And on December 4th, was photographed in chains, in handcuffs at LAX, turning himself over to the Tulare County DA officials. He will have an arraignment. He had a nice mugshot, I have to add as well. Too bad Ido Benzivi wasn't part of it, but honestly, I think he will. He will be arraigned on these charges in January, and as will Bruce Green. And it's really unfortunate that the city council has taken a majority of money from an associate, not necessarily HCCA, but Highland Fairview, because it seems they have been very unethical, especially in connection with.
Mayor, the last speaker is Dave Slocum.
Okay.
Mr. Slocum? Mr. Slocum, if you're on your phone, you need to do *6.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sir.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thanks for the time. Just in concurrence with CPAC and Brian Gunter and Chris DeWitty, just an opportunity to have a look at the RFP situation there based on some steps that were probably missed. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Pat, was that the last of the speakers?
That's
Okay.
the last of the speakers. The other gentleman listed is here if we have any questions on the public hearing item.
Okay. All right. We're going to go straight into the special order of business, but before we do that, just going to ask Mike some questions really quick. If you could just address those, or you can defer them to Marshall really quick.
On that one, I'll defer to Marshall. Marshall?
Okay, so Marshall, so there was the accusation made, that the criteria wasn't followed. Can you speak to that and kind of just clarify to the council?
Yes, Mayor, let me walk through a couple items. So with regards to the questions brought forward by the speakers on this RFP process, this is for professional services. So it does differ a little bit from a bid where it's specific pricing. This is really based on their potential to perform and their qualifications. The RFP for this project is essentially 28 pages of items that have specific criteria for them to provide. The applicants all presented proposals. Then those applicants were provided but they were provided an opportunity to present everything. So as there were questions, clarifications, they were all provided with that opportunity to have a dialogue with 6 individuals on the review panel, walk through those questions from both sides and present their product and how they were going to provide this service. And with this service on the servers, this is the critical infrastructure that keeps the city hall running and all of our operations. So it's very important that we have the best product in place to make sure that we have a continuity of government in all situations. So throughout this process, everything was set forth in the RFP. We followed that following the interview process and even through the initial proposal. That firm was ranked the lowest through all items. So they were not selected through this process. And there were questions, as I went through it on the other side with staff, is were they going to be able to perform for the items that they proposed? In many cases, when you were dealing with service vendors, it's the ability for them to meet what they've presented, not just trying to buy business, but we have to look at future risk or concerns that could come out of that relationship as well. So at least I can let council know we had a 6-member panel that reviewed these items, went through all of the documentation on the proposals, through the interview process, and chose the best bidder through, or the best service provider through that process.
Okay, thank you. Does council have any questions on this item or no? Okay. All right. So we'll go straight to special order of business. And we do have a special order of business tonight. Resolution reciting the fact of the general municipal election held on November 3rd, 2020, declaring the official results and such other matters as provided by law. And at this moment, we'll have a report from our city clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. As you stated, I am bringing this item to the governing body pursuant to sections of the California Elections Code. As the elections official, I need to certify the results, bringing this adoption of this ordinance to the council. The resolution is reciting the fact of the election, declaring the official results. And we're doing this at our next scheduled meeting as pursuant to the code. So this will be reciting the facts and declaring the official results of the election. This completes my presentation.
Okay, thanks. So you don't recite the facts or?
Oh, I can say the election results are that
because usually
for the office of mayor, Extian Gutierrez received 38,088 votes. For the office of council member in District 1, Victoria Baca received 6,344 votes. And for the office of council member in District 3, council member David Marquez received 6,053 votes.
Great.
And those were the official winners of their seats. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you, City Clerk. Any council questions of staff?
No.
Okay, none. Okay. I'll entertain a motion by council to approve staff's recommendation number 1.
I do.
Okay, motion made by Councilmember Marquez, second by Councilmember Cabrera. Okay, go ahead and please vote. Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Thornton?
Yes.
Councilmember Marquez?
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca?
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez?
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes 5 ayes.
Great. All right. Thank you, City Clerk. At this time, we'll move straight forward to the administration of the oaths of office to the newly elected officials. And again, congratulate my colleagues as well for their wins. And we'll go ahead and start with Council Member of District 1, which is actually, yeah, okay, we'll start with Council Member of District 1, Mayor Pro Tem Baca.
Will you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I state your name.
I, Victoria Baca,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then if you, you're open if you wanted to say any remarks or.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, with the most sincere heart, I want to say thank you to God, family, friends, volunteers, donors, but most importantly, to the voters of District 1 for giving me another 4 years, an opportunity to serve here as your councilwoman in District 1, representing you the best I can, as I have in the past, and moving forward with a lot of new projects that are coming to District 1. If you look at the quarter on Day Street and Eucalyptus, you'll see a lot of new development there. But come back and visit Heacock and Hemlock, and you'll see a lot going on. And we're gonna have gas stations, housing, markets, and a lot more that's coming. I just can't say exactly what right now, but there's a lot of development going on in District 1. And the people are gonna be very, very proud of what we have. And I just wanna say thank you again for electing me. And I will continue to work hard, I will continue to work hard for you. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Congratulations, Mayor Pro Tem Baca.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, we have Council Member of District 3, David Marquez, your oath and remarks.
Councilmember Marquez, will you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I state your name.
I, David Marquez,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I will take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservations
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I just want to say this in brief. This whole year has been just a year that we're never going to forget, and especially in my lifetime. But it ended up good for me at the end of the year that I got reelected. I just want to say this. All the people out there, all my supporters, all my staff, all the volunteers that believed in me, stuck with me, and I want to thank you from deep from my heart. The other 5, 6, 7,000 people that didn't vote for me, I'm still here for you. It doesn't change anything. I'm still your council member, and I'll continue doing what I'm doing for the 6,000 voters that believed in me. So that doesn't change. You can call me at any time, any complaints. I will definitely respond to your complaints. As for growth in District 3, we have many builders coming to District 3. Again, I cannot disclose which ones, but there's a lot coming to District 3. There's going to be our general plan to our town center that I'm looking forward to, that by the time I'm done in my 4 years, this project on Mason and Alexander will be complete, and we'll be able to celebrate it, not only District 3, but the whole city of Moreno Valley. Again, I want to thank everyone. I want to wish everybody a happy New Year's, and of course, have a Merry Christmas. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and get your vaccine shot. And 2021 will be a beautiful year for us. Thank you.
Awesome.
Are you ready, Mayor?
Oh, yes.
Raise your right hand, please.
Okay.
And repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Ixtian Alberto Gutierrez,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Thank you. Congratulations to all.
Thank you. Just wanted to say, first of all, just thank God, for being there for me and this blessing, really. Also, my family, friends, supporters, but more importantly, the voters of the city, in every district. And I want to thank also my colleagues as well for your support in the last, quite honestly, in the last 7 years, even being on council as well, and getting a lot of projects and moving the city forward, because we really have taken the next step in our city. But like many of you know, we have faced a lot of challenges this year, like a lot of other cities have faced. But I do know that it's really no match for the kindness, the generosity, and the strength that our residents have during this pandemic and during this year as well. As your mayor, I will work hard every day, and I will continue to work hard every day to deliver results for all Moreno Valley residents. Whether you voted for me or not, I'm going to be the mayor for all people. I will continue to work together with the council to help residents and businesses navigate this pandemic and recession as well, and continue to work with our city staff, our E-team, city manager, city clerk, city attorney, and also department heads in reducing emergency response times and also making our neighborhoods safer. I think we can leverage technology and some of the technology that we have with the citywide cameras, Shot Spotter, and other programs that we have to really make our neighborhoods safer, in addition to adding more boots on the ground and more community enhancement officers and code enforcement officers as well. Safety is number one. It's very, very important to me, because without the safety, we can't really grow our city, and we can't keep that strategic competitive analysis. Also, I do hope and will continue to champion our strategic plan, which is called Momentum Mobile. We already have so many initiatives that we've already met, but there's still much more that needs to be done. For example, we're going to move forward with our town center. The Councilmember Marquez mentioned on the east end of town. That's going to be something very, very important to me and to this city. One for economic growth, and then one also to make this city a destination city, not only in our city, but in the region, which I think is very, very important. And then in addition to that, I also want to work in the next 2 years to really make more historic improvements with our roads. I've heard you loud and clear this election, like no other election, that our roads need maintenance. They need to be repaved. And many of you have mentioned that to me. So I make that promise that I'm going to continue to move the city forward with those historic improvements. Because if we want to grow as a city, we do have to, and make our city the best, we have to have everything working right, and the infrastructure as well. And then finally, something that's very dear to my heart is expanding the youth programs. So I was a teacher for 14 years and also a professor now with a national university. And it's very important to me that we prevent crime. And one of the ways that you can do that is really by providing more education to youth and preventing poverty. I think those are the two main things: education and poverty, supporting education programs and preventing poverty. And so I am looking forward to expanding, for example, the Teen Spot program and other youth initiatives, as well as working hand in hand with Moreno Valley College, UCR, California Baptist University, and launching more youth-related programs that provide tuition assistance. I think that's very, very important. In the last couple of years, we started a program called the Mayor's Challenge, where we actually help and we provide a universal basic student income to students like no other city has ever done in the state of California. We provide them monthly stipends to keep them in school. And that's something that I want to continue to do and expand upon with other partners as well. In addition, I just want to make a note that I'm here for everyone in this city, like I always have been and will, and I'm very, very blessed to be here now and to continue in these next 2 years in leading our community. And I look forward to the challenges that we have ahead, especially with the vaccine rollout that's going to be coming about. And I'm looking forward to working with our department heads, also the county health department, and really spearheading some community outreach about getting vaccinated. I think that's very important. And then continuing some of the health precautions that are, like, for example, wearing your mask, social distancing, that's very important as well. So I just want to say I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to the next 2 years. Thank you. Okay, so I want to congratulate my two colleagues again, Mayor Pro Tem Baca and David Marquez, and I'm looking forward to working with all of them as well. Madam Clerk, I believe you mentioned to me we didn't have any elected city officials from other cities on?
No, sir. We didn't
No?
have any that requested meeting information, no.
Okay, okay. So
And
we'll
I don't
move.
see anybody coming in either.
Okay, great. Okay, so we'll just move straight to the consent calendar, which is sections A through E. These are considered to be routine and non-controversial and may be enacted by one motion. Each motion adopted is a separate action by each agency that the city oversees. Items withdrawn for report or discussion will be heard after public hearing items. Any council questions or comments? We have one from Councilmember Cabrera.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to make a couple of comments on item A6 and item A13.
Okay, all right. And anybody else? Any other ones? Okay, we'll go ahead and start with A6.
Thank you, Mayor. So item A6 on tonight's agenda is, like the mayor alluded to in his comments, in regards to our initiatives with education. And A6 in particular is for the College Promise Initiative. And this is an ongoing partnership that the city has. I'm very proud of my colleagues and the mayor for, for actually assisting the students over at Moreno Valley College. I know the mayor attended there and was a teacher there. I was also a student there at Moreno Valley College. I know a lot of people there at the college as well. And I'm just so proud that we're continuing to assist our youth here in the city financially through this partnership with the $50,000 again this year. So this on top of the Mobile Mayor's Challenge and everything else with the new libraries, after school programs, the Teen Spot. I'm so proud, that this city is really figuratively and literally investing into our youth, into our future leaders. So just wanted to put a spotlight on the College Promise Initiative. And would you like me to go ahead for A13?
Oh, yeah. Yes, yes.
Thank you. And for A13, just want to highlight this item as well. Thank you so much to staff. Thank you to our team over at City Hall, Mike Lee, Marshall Ironman, Public Works, Michael Wolf, everyone who was involved in this program. It's actually $250,000. And the whole purpose is to assist those Moreno Valley utility customers who are going through hardships. Maybe they can't pay their utility bill, or maybe they're a little bit late on the bill. So this $250,000 is going to go toward assisting those people who need the financial help. So just want to again thank our staff at City Hall for coming up with this idea. Is amazing idea, excellent, much needed for the community, and just wanted to put a highlight on that as well. So that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, great, awesome. Any other council questions or comments? Okay. All right, at this time, I do entertain a motion by council to approve the consent calendar.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion made by Councilmember Cabrera, second by Councilmember Marquez. Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Thornton. Councilmember Thornton.
Yes.
Thank you. Councilmember Marquez.
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca.
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 5 ayes.
Okay, great, awesome. All right, we're going to go straight to public hearing items, and we'll have a report from the community development, and this is on the proposed general plan amendment and change of zone amending 2-2 land use map with the Moreno Valley General Plan. So we'll have a report from community development.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Temp, and council members. As mentioned by the mayor, the proposed entitlements will allow the development of a proposed commercial center at Paris Avenue between Atwood and Darcia Avenue. The project consists of a drive-through restaurant with outdoor seating, a fuel station, and a convenience store. At the November 12th Plan Commission meeting, the project was unanimously recommended for approval to the City Council. To date, no public comments have been received on this project. That concludes staff's report. Staff recommends approval of the project subject to the conditions of approval in the resolution.
Okay, thank you, Manny, for the concise report. Really appreciate that. Any council questions of staff?
I got one, Mayor.
Okay, Councilor Marquez.
Yeah, Manny, on the staff report, it indicated that one of the entries to this property would be off of Atwood. Excuse me. The entry off of Atwood, is that, you're not talking about the one that's parallel with Paris Boulevard, are you?
I believe so, yes, it is.
And that road a private road?
It is, and it will be improved as well.
When you say improved, can you kind of let us know what the improvements consist of?
The drive approach and the driveway.
Okay, so what's going to happen with the rest of the street that's coming off of Atwood to the property? There's about 4 or 5 homes on the east side of that road, parallel with Paris Boulevard. What's going to happen with that street, the road? It's a dirt road.
Let me pull up that information. I believe that area will also be improved, everything in front of the proposed development.
So it will no longer be a private road?
Let me check on that. Let me pull up Julia Dakota, the project planner on this.
Okay, thank you.
Because is there a private road or?
Yes, parallel to Paris Boulevard.
Okay.
On the east side of Paris, at the corner of Atwood and Paris. It parallels the street there. It's
and this is right by Tracia in Paris, where there's a Zapatas and a gas station.
Across the street, yeah. It's Just Tires. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Okay, Julia.
Hi, Julia Dakota, Associate Planner. The project applicant owns the property that is parallel to Paris Boulevard, where the driveway will take from Atwood all the way over to the project. It will improve the driveway so that the residents there will now use this driveway. Currently, and John Carini might be on the line as well. I don't believe it's actually a private road in that the residents currently use the area that is generally owned by this other applicant. So the improvement will be for their use as well. So they won't have to.
Julia, just really quick, can you share, I mean, usually there's like a PowerPoint or something, or maybe just like a picture?
Sure. It'll take me just a moment to bring that up for you.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Perfect.
okay. So you can see that the project site goes all the way to Atwood, and in the red there, that area is a separate piece of property. And the residents currently come in off of a dirt driveway there, if you will, on Atwood. And so this will be improved completely from Atwood all the way to the project site. So they will no longer enter onto dirt. They will enter onto a paved area.
So what you're saying, Julia, is the infrastructure is going to be that whole area, that road, they're going to have curbs and drainage there?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. Yes, they will be improved and they will enter onto asphalt. There'll be landscaping parallel to Paris Boulevard, and then there'll be the driveway, and then there'll be the walkway for the driveway for the residents' home.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Manny, and thank you, Mayor.
Okay. All right. Any other council questions? Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and open the hearing. The hearing is now open. Any public testimony, Madam Clerk?
None, Mayor.
Okay,
Gutierrez.
thank you. I'll go ahead and any council deliberation?
None, Mayor, I'll make the motion.
Okay, I'll close the hearing, and then a motion made by Councilmember Marquez to approve staff's recommendation number 1 through 5.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, second made by Councilmember Cabrera.
Councilmember Thornton,
Yes.
Councilmember Marquez,
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 ayes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We're now moving on to item F2, which is municipal code amendments of multiple areas within planning and zoning. And we'll have a report from the Community Development Director, Manny Mancha.
Thank you, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem and council members. Patty Nevins will be presenting this project.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. This item includes a number of amendments to Title IX zoning of our municipal code, as well as an amendment to Title 12 vehicles and traffic. The amendments are all laid out in the staff report, so staff's recommending approval, and I would just make myself available to questions if you have any. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any council questions of staff?
Yes, I do, Mayor.
Okay, Councilor Marquez.
Yeah, Patty, on this driving upon the access ramp, the residents that have driveways already and connected to those ramps, are they going to be notified they're not going to be able to use that handicap access ramp, or are they going to be sent a letter, or how's that going to be done?
Sorry, the access. Can you hear me? I'm getting notices that I'm muted still.
No, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
The access ramps that this is referring to shouldn't be being accessed by residents. We're generally talking about the ones on the corner, and they're supposed to be available for handicapped only. They shouldn't be used by vehicles as it is.
Are those the residents that have driveways already up there that do use that ramp to park their vehicles? And not only vehicles, motorhomes also. How are we going to notify them that this is, once we approve of this, and after the second reading, how are they going to be notified that they can't do that anymore?
They would be notified even now by our Code and Neighborhood Services Department. So I don't have a plan at the moment to do a mass notification. There are already areas that aren't supposed to be being used. So if somebody sees that something is being used, Code would notify them and make them aware that they shouldn't be using those for driving and parking.
Under the new construction for these ramps, they're also building a curve further up from the street. Do you know, or maybe I don't know, Mike Wolf could answer this. Are all those ramps going to have that curve also on the backside?
Good evening, Councilmember Marquez. This is Michael Wolf. I can provide some information on your question. So when we do make code changes, we typically, for the enforcement side of the house, so when you're talking about, are we going to be notifying folks that utilize the ADA access ramps inappropriately, they'll be notified once we see an evidence that they've been using it. That's allowable in the code. So they'll be notified. We may do our normal process, which is a kind of a courtesy notice first, so we can make sure everybody's understanding these new code changes. But habitual uses of those illegally will be getting cited. So that's kind of the process that we typically take when we have new code sections come in. Your question is about whether or not we're going to allow for new driveways. We allow for secondary driveways on properties that may have a side access, maybe on a corner. So they have to come in and get an encroachment permit. They have to get approval. We have standard plans for our driveway approaches or sidewalks and curb and gutter. So they'll have to meet all those requirements if they're going to install a secondary driveway. The intent here is to stop utilizing the pedestrian access ramps, which are not designed to take the load of a large vehicle. And we see evidence of those folks maybe utilizing those ramps in an inappropriate manner. So hopefully that answers your question, Mr. Marquez.
Yes, it does. Thank you, Mike. And thank you, Patty and Manny. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'll go ahead and open the hearing. Any public testimony, Madam Clerk?
None.
Okay, I'll go ahead and close the hearing. Any council deliberation? Okay, I'll entertain a motion by council to approve staff's recommendations numbers 1 and 2.
Open.
Okay, motion made by Councilor Marquez. Is there any second? Okay.
Second the motion.
Okay. Councilor Cabrera seconded. All right.
Councilmember Thornton?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Councilmember Marquez?
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca?
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez?
Yes.
Motion passes 5 ayes. Thank you.
Great. Well, now we're going to move on to general business, and we'll start with the G1, which is the fiscal year 2020-21 first quarter budget review and approval of the first quarter budget amendments and review of the operating and capital carryovers from fiscal year 2019 to 2020. So we'll have a report from the Financial and Management Services Division.
Thank you very much, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members. As mentioned, this is the first quarter budget review and review of some of the proposed amendments. The first quarter of the fiscal year began on July 1st and extends through September 30th. With those first 3 months of the fiscal year, there's not always a lot of feedback on the revenue side. Some of the revenues still trail, and property taxes we don't receive until January. And so usually with the first quarter, many of these budget amendments are focused on carryover items from the prior fiscal year. So, but before I get into that, just as we know, revenue for the first 3 months, usually we expect about 10% of our revenue to come in at that time period for the general fund. Right now, we're pretty close, right in line with that, a little bit ahead, but that's also based on our reduced budget as a response to some of the COVID impacts. On the expenditure side, we are seeing our expenditures right in line, and as council has directed, not only the previous reductions on some of the expenditures, we're in line with those, but we're taking a very proactive effort to save money as much as possible during these uncertain times, and we're dealing with COVID and the predictors of how we're going to be in the future. So with that carries me into the carryover items that we have. As mentioned, when we finalized the prior fiscal year, there are many projects that may be CIP related or contracts that are midstream that cross over multiple fiscal years. When we finish that fiscal year, we'll carry over those remaining budgets. So typically there's a revenue component and an expense that keep that balanced. This action tonight just ratifies those carryover items. It's not approving new budget expenditures or new projects when we're talking about carryovers. With some of the amendments, just from the high level for the general fund, we're adjusting the revenue up an increase of $134,000. That brings the general fund budget to $111.4 million. That revenue is just adjusting slightly. We do have some adjustments. It's about 100,000 plus of sales tax based on some of the receipts that we've seen. On the expenditure component, we're reducing the budget $87,000. That will bring the budget down to $111.4 million as well. That will provide us a structurally balanced budget within the general fund. So although we are dealing with uncertainty in the economy, we are dealing with somewhat of a recession, through council direction, we're still maintaining that structurally balanced budget to meet our needs. Now with some of the other funds within there, just from, again, the high level on our grant funds, we do have some adjustments to reflect the grants received and expended through some of these programs where we're receiving CARES dollars or COVID dollars to meet the needs in the community. With our development impact fees, as noted this evening, there are projects continuing to move forward. So as those fees have increased or we've received more to date, we're adjusting those items to reflect the actual receipts. And then with our successor agency, we did refinance the bonds last year. There were some adjustments within that 2-year budget that we needed to true up at this point in time. Beyond that, as some of the measures to continue to balance the budget and look at operational efficiencies, we are proposing the defunding of 9 positions, and that does provide some savings to the general fund that will meet our needs for this fiscal year and moving forward as we try to address other concerns within our budget. With that, that concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you. And then just to clarify, those positions were already vacant, so it's not like we're laying off or anything like that, right, Marshall?
Yes, Mayor. Those were 9 vacant positions, a lot of them from retirements.
Yes, yes. I just wanted to clarify that. Okay, great. Any council questions of staff? Okay. Any council deliberation? Okay. I will entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, Councilmember Cabrera. Second from, how about Councilmember Lee? Carla, you want a second?
Oh, yeah, yes, please.
Okay,
Second.
okay, second from Carla. It just to kind of be a little, share it a little bit. Okay, all right. Okay, Cabrera and Councilmember Thornton, all right.
Councilmember Thornton,
Yes.
Councilmember Marquez,
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 ayes.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
All right, so now it moves us to item G2, which is City Council reorganization, selection of Mayor Pro Tem.
There's, I think we have to take a motion for each of the bodies, the CSD, the housing, and the
Oh, thank
successor
you.
agency.
Thank you for catching that. It just kind of cut off on the next page, so I appreciate that. So the first, let's do it. So the first motion is staff recommendations numbers 1 through 4.
I'll make a motion for staff recommendation 1 through 4.
Okay, a second?
Second the motion.
A second by Councilmember Cabrera. Okay, please vote.
Councilmember Thornton,
Yes.
Councilmember Marquez,
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes. Now,
Motion passes 5 ayes.
I entertain a motion by the CSD to approve staff's recommendation number 1.
Move.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Mayor Pro Tem Baca.
Second.
Okay, second by Councilmember Marquez. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Okay. Councilmember Thornton,
Yes.
Councilmember Marquez,
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 ayes.
Great. I entertain a motion by the Housing Authority to approve staff's recommendation number 1.
I move.
Okay.
I'll
Motion made
second.
by Councilmember Marquez and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Baca. So that's Marquez and Baca.
Okay, Councilmember Thornton,
Yes.
Councilmember Marquez,
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes. And then, thank you. Okay, and then the next one, SA, what do we have? What's that one? It just says SA.
Successor agency.
Okay, okay, just want to make sure, okay, what is that? So many abbreviations here. All right, okay. I entertain a motion by the successor agency to approve staff's recommendation number 1.
I make the motion.
A motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Baca.
I'll second motion.
Second by Councilmember Thornton. So it's Baca and Thornton.
Councilmember Thornton,
Yes.
Councilmember Marquez,
Yes.
Councilmember Cabrera,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Baca,
Yes.
Mayor Gutierrez.
Yes.
Motion passes 5 ayes. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, so now it takes us to G2, City Council Reorganization, selection of Mayor Pro Tem. Per our rules of order that we have, the city clerk runs this part of the meeting. So I will defer the meeting to the city clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. As you know, this item is brought to you every year so that the Mayor Pro Tem can be chosen from amongst the council members. I will ask that nominations may be provided for the office of Mayor Pro Tem and may be made by any member of the City Council and does not need a second in order to be effective. And the appointment shall be made with 3 or more affirmative votes on the motion to appoint. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mayor Pro Tem Baca raised her hand, Councilmember Cabrera.
Yep, I have it on raised. And I'd like to nominate Councilwoman Dr. Carla Thornton for Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay. Any other nominees?
Do we need a second for that?
No.
I'd like to nominate Ulysses Cabrera.
Okay. Can I, is there any additional nominees? Okay, can I please take a vote for Councilmember Thornton? Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Baca?
Yes.
Councilmember Marquez?
No.
I'm sorry?
You're talking about Thornton?
Yes.
No.
Councilmember Cabrera?
No.
Councilmember Thornton?
Pat, I think she actually had to step out. It seemed like there might have been an emergency there.
Okay.
We might want to just pause for just a moment to
Yeah.
see if we can get her back on.
Okay.
We could take like a 2-minute break.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll bring up the break graphic now. Thank you.
Okay. Hopefully she's okay. Okay, let me know, Tim, when we're back.
We are ready, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So at this time, we don't know what actually happened or what has happened. And, you know, so out of respect, I know that she was a nominee to see, and because we don't know what actually happened, just to see if we would table this item to at least another meeting. If that's fine with the rest of the council.
Support that, Mayor.
Okay, okay, and hopefully she's okay, and you know, we'll go from there. Okay, so there's consensus to move the item to our next available meeting. All right, so that takes us to H, actually to I, and we'll have a report from Mayor Pro Tem Baca, Western Riverside Council of Governments.
Thank you, Mayor. Items covered at the Wrcong Executive Committee meeting on December 7th, 2020 include number 1 was the Executive Committee approved 2 TUMF reimbursement agreement amendments, including an amendment to Moreno Valley's existing agreement for the Moreno Beach Drive State Route 60 interchange project to shift the funding from the project approval and environmental documentation phase to the plan specification and estimate phase. Secondly, Wrcong's educational program are continuing in a virtual format, including the Eco Hero program for member jurisdictions, school partners at the K-5 level. Eco Hero introduces environmental topics such as used oil recycling, household hazardous waste, and even food waste prevention through song, dance, and music videos, and will continue shows available to students in Moreno Valley. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have, gosh, we're hearing a lot of noises tonight. Okay, we have Councilor Marquez. You have the RCA report? Yes.
Yeah, I'll just make it real short, Mayor. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Moreno Valley, the LSHCP fees collection totaled $4,468, and they were on 2 residential permits for the month of October. That's in my report.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, we'll go to closing comments. Skip over Councilor Thornton. We'll go to Councilor Marquez, your closing comments.
Nothing at this time, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilmember Cabrera.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. This is our final meeting of the year. Hope Councilmember Thornton is okay. So look forward to hearing an update on that. Hope she's doing well. I'll just leave it at that. Just, you know, everyone have a Merry Christmas. Please stay safe out there, stay healthy, and, just wear your face masks, and please be sure to get tested if you are going to be gathering with your families. So please just, you know, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you again in the new year. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Baca.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to say that it's been a wonderful year. Regardless of everything that's happened, I know that with the pandemic, lots of bad things have happened, but you know, for all of us that are still here, that still keep working and trying to do our best to make sure that everyone in the community has what they need. We have the masks available. We have other items and programs. Just, you know, reach out to City Hall and see how we can help you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody, and keep yourself safe and protect your loved ones, your friends, and spread the word that we need to stay safe and that we need to follow the guidelines. Thank you and good night.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Baca. Okay, just mine will be very brief as well. You know, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas to all, and Happy Holidays to everyone. We were able to give out a Happy Holidays video. I hope you were able to see that. You know, on behalf of myself as mayor, the city council, and the city staff are wishing everyone happy holidays. Make sure you stay safe. This is the time when a lot of incidents happen, so make sure that you try to take all precautions as possible. And we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting tonight. at 7:23 p.m. And we're also hoping, I'm hoping that everything's okay with Councilmember Thornton as well. The meeting is adjourned at 7:23 p.m.